of the class of 97. Wear sunscreen. If I could offer you one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. So yeah, that was a little bit of music this evening, but hey, Julie Roussel here. Hey, welcome to Wacky Wednesday, where you never know what the topic's going to be. And yeah, I'll admit it, not necessarily on time, because that's the way life rules. But hey, welcome and thanks for joining in, whether you are popping in live right now or you are catching on the replay. I'm glad that you could pop in for a little bit of kitchen quarantine conversation. So hey, as always, if you hear something that you find valuable or you get a good laugh out of once in a while, leave me some love. Drop a hey or your thoughts in the comments. Even tell me how you're doing. Share the video with anyone you think it might help, and PM me if you have questions or want to hear more. I'm always happy to share the things that I'm learning, and I really hope that they help you. So hey, I see a few joining in. Now this is really weird, so maybe Facebook is actually keeping up, I don't know, but hey, I see a few joining in. Hey Lori, nice to see you, lady. Hope you and the fam are doing well. Hey Wally, nice to see you, neighbor. It's been a while. Hey, I hope you are doing well. Hey Jean, yes, you're right, you caught me live. Hey lady, it's so good to see your face. Hello Carrie, nice to see you joining in. Hope you and the girls are doing well, lady. So yeah, like I said, I'm seeing people pop in, which like I said is a first, because normally I miss out because Facebook does not seem to want to cooperate some evenings. Or maybe I'm peeking at my notes, because come on, you know I have notes. I'm always peeking at them. But that's what I see for right now. And if I happen to miss you, I will try to welcome you. But hey, drop me a little comment. Let me know how you're doing in all this. It's nice to keep in touch and see how people are doing. That's what friends are supposed to do. So I wanted to pop on tonight and just kind of share a quick little story of what I learned and hopefully how it can help you with the summertime coming up here. So yeah, there's a little story that's attached with it because that's, you know, we all have fun stories to share. But with this one, it does deal with a little bit of May being Skin Cancer Prevention Month and my children and our fun little experiment. So hopefully you'll tune in till the end and hear how it all turned out. So I see more and more joining in. Like I said, it was showing me initially, but now I'm not catching it. So friends, hey, welcome. I'm glad that you can make it. And if I miss you, I really apologize. So just leave me a hey or a shout, or even pop a like in there and I should see it go across the screen. Should. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, we were shoveling mulch in all of our landscaping beds and trying to get everything ready for the spring so it looked nice and we'd have a lot of good growth, because we knew that some great weather was coming up and we wanted everything to look as well as grow well for the season. And we were headed outside and I told my youngest, the 12-year-old, that he needed to apply some sunscreen before he went outside, because it was going to be sunny and we were going to be out there for a good, 2 or 3 hours. And I wanted to make sure that he was protected because we haven't seen the sun, for a whole lot in the last 6 months. We haven't spent much time outside. And he insisted that, oh, I don't need sunscreen, Mom. I'm not pale like you. I can tan. So I told him to go ahead and apply anyways. But I noticed when he was about to apply the sunscreen, he was applying one that was expired. And it was something that had expired, 3 months ago. And I told him, no, he couldn't apply that because, sunscreen is expired. I want to make certain that he applied one. There we go. I can almost talk. It's been an interesting week. But I had him applying one that was still good until 2021. And because of his perspective that he didn't need to wear sunscreen, or, I could just put on any kind I want, even if it's expired, that's fine. I decided to try a little experiment. And with sunscreen, expired versus unexpired, and should you use it, and how it all turned out. Yeah, painful or not. And So I wanted to prove my point. And what I did was I applied regular unexpired sunscreen, like the one I have here that says, oh, you can't read it. My apologies. But it says 4 of 2021. And what I did is I applied that on my arm here. Oh, how do I turn my arm here? I applied that on my arm here from the elbow down to my wrist with just regular sunscreen. Unexpired, that was good for another year. And then what I did from the wrist and to the top part of my hands here, I applied unexpired sunscreen. Now, I don't know if you can see any color differences, but I'll continue to explain as we go on. So like I said, from my elbow to my wrist here, normal unexpired good sunscreen. From the wrist to the knuckles right here, expired sunscreen. So after those 2 hours of being outside, and I knew that what I was risking, because I'll be honest, I do burn pretty easily at first if I'm not wearing sunscreen. So I knew it was a huge risk and I probably would get burned, but I wanted to prove my point to my son that even if you tan and can tan or have a darker skin tone, you still need to apply a sunscreen that is unexpired, just to show him instead of just telling. Because I didn't think he'd just listen to being told. I thought it would be better to show and tell. So after being outside, I noticed that after 2 hours that it was very painful. And if you look right here, you can see this whole section that's a different color. And it's still healing from being sunburned. It was very painful, very itchy, burning a lot. It was even irritated from the old sunscreen. I was very surprised by that. And I didn't expect it to burn that badly. And I didn't expect it to stay red and continue to be irritated and burning for several days, despite aloe and other home remedies that I was using. So, I wanted to prove my point to my son that yes, you need to wear sunscreen as long as it's unexpired, just to prevent the burning. And it is kind of peeling, although you can't really see it there, but you can see the discoloration, and that's not tan. That's all going to peel off shortly. So if you are peeling, that's not a good thing. And hey friends, I see a few more joining in. I'm sorry I missed ya. Facebook isn't showing me a whole lot right now, but I'm sorry I missed ya. Leave me a hey or a shout. I'm glad that you popped in. It's really good to see you. Okay, so back to where I was. So he thinks he isn't going to get burned, or he's not risking skin cancer if he doesn't apply the sunscreen. So, after I had demonstrated the burned area for several days, because I'll be honest, it was pretty raw and irritated, that also his papa, my father, has also been diagnosed with skin cancer several times and had several reoccurrences that he's had to have removed. So I remind him of that, as well as several friends of mine that have also had skin cancer, and one even in their 30s. So I wanted to dispel and give you some of Nicholas's 5 myths about sunscreen, and skin cancer. And these are things that we've all said over and over again. So number 1, oh, I don't need sunscreen. I can tan and, I don't have to worry about skin cancer. It ain't gonna happen to me. And you're wrong about that. I mean, yes, because even though you can tan, you can still get burned. Even if your skin tone is a lot darker than mine, you can still burn. You can still have spots appearing on your skin. You can still get skin cancer, but you still want to prevent it. So you want to use a sunscreen that is, hey, and if you can look at this one, I realize it's backwards, but if you look carefully, it says expires 4 of 2020. Not so good, already expired. And if you look at this one here, it doesn't even have it's a national brand. It doesn't have any expiration date on it. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So you definitely want to wear a sunscreen. And like I said, SPF 30 is what's recommended by dermatologists, as well as the Skin Cancer Foundation, which is where I found a lot of my helpful tips, as well as recommendations as to what to use, as well as statistics. So what I will do is put that link in the thread after I've completed the video, and that way you can check out the info for yourself. Take a look, you'd be surprised. So yeah, you definitely need to wear sunscreen because it will prevent skin cancer as well as a painful sunburn. Second myth of Nicholas. Oh, hey, thanks for the love. I appreciate that. I missed who it was, but thank you. Hopefully I'll catch it again. So second myth that we've all said, and Nicholas happened to say too, oh gosh, I don't have to reapply. Sunscreen is good for all day long. No, sorry to dispel that, but no, it's actually only good for about 2 hours. And if you are in the water, swimming and sweating, it's only good for about 80 minutes before you have to reapply, because the water and all that will just simply break down the sunscreen barrier and you'll need to reapply. So reapplication every 2 hours, even sooner with swimming or sweating. Third thing that we've all said, hey, it's safe to use if it's expired. And I kind of got ahead of myself there previously. But if your sunscreen is expired, don't waste your time using it. Because the one thing that the Skin Cancer Foundation, as well as my dermatologist pointed out to me, that the sunscreen in your formulas is only stable for about 2 years from the time that it's mixed. So if it's been sitting for a year or so on the shelf in the store, and then it sits in your house for 2 more years, it's already expired and it's not going to give you any protection whatsoever. So if you've ever gotten burned from using expired sunscreen, that might be why. So definitely toss it out. Check the date. And if it isn't still good, toss it. Fourth thing we've all said, oh gosh, hey, I don't have to worry. There aren't that many people diagnosed with skin cancer anyways. And that's actually false. I mean, there aren't as many deaths as some other different diseases, but there are still about 7,000 per year. And it sounds pretty low. It does. But the one thing I have noticed, according to the Skin Cancer Foundation, the diagnoses of